But the one thing I would say though is I think I go to therapy to learn how to live like you.
I think people go to too much. I'm not knocking therapy.
No,
all that
knock
crap,
it.
blah, blah,
Knock
blah.
it. I think it should be knocked.
No. Okay, yeah, but
Parts of
people,
it should be knocked.
People think of it as this like end all be all that everyone should go all the time. I also view it kind of like is someone going to a mechanic all the time. Why are you going to that mechanic all the time? It's because your car's fucked up, right? And so I think when your car's not messed up, then you don't have to go anymore. Sometimes.
So what do you suggest? To get a new car, kill themselves?
Oh God, so many people are going to get on my case for this.
No, but no, I keep going.
But I also think I think you do have to resolve some issues because I think you had a harder childhood. Like I had a very blessed childhood and an awesome family and all that kind of stuff, which I think a lot of people did not get. And so I was just kind of like lucked into that. However, if someone did have a much harder childhood and has problems that they need to issue, they should definitely do it. But I think there's a stopping or slowing down point that needs to happen.
Yes. I was just thinking a new business. See, I just can't. I think always since I was young, I was always thinking about making money. I was thinking rent a family.
Jew.
No, but think about it. So you've always said this. We've probably said this like hundreds of times. I had a great upbringing. I don't think my parents fucked me up. I just think they were neurotic Jewish. We had some challenges.
You arguably had a much harder childhood.
Different. I mean, harder is relative, right? Like
in terms of complications and friction points.
Yes.
You definitely had a harder childhood than me.
Dude, you should tell it to my mom. Say it to her face. Anyways, my mom would probably say I had the best childhood ever, which I did, and they did their best. The thing I was going to say is from business opportunities, rent a family. So think about this. Like if you had like a bad family growing up, like I could just rent new, like my mom's great. And my stepdad and my biological dad and my third dad. So, but I could rent a new family now just to like practice. Like, Noah, we love you. Okay, let's go to soccer today. And like you could do all the things that like missed out on, and then you can just skip the therapy and stop blaming your parents for everything.
That seems like it'll just fuck you up later down the line. you just gloss over that whole childhood upbringing.
How do we get in therapy?
I don't know. I feel like I've watched you do therapy a lot more, and I almost think that there's a correlation between the amount that you're going and your unhappiness level.
Oh yeah, we're talking about how to live like Neville. I think you're totally right. I went to therapy 2 weeks ago, and he was asking me why I'm doing YouTube. And he's like, "What's your intent? Why are you doing this now?" And I was like,
it's like, bro, to get rich and famous because we want people to pay attention to us. Like, it's not a bad thing. They keep asking, they keep us, why? It's like, yes, that is what your genes want you to do. They want you to become more rich and powerful so you can make more, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. That is what we're designed to do. And I think that's okay. Whereas a lot of people are like, but why do you want that? And they just keep pontificating on this to a point where it's like, dude, you know the answer. Yes. And sometimes it's not like the prettiest answer in the world. This is what we're designed to do.
I think that's beautiful. That's what my therapist says, by the way. It's beautiful. I like saying that to things. It's beautiful. The thing I would say on the flip side of that, so that was one part of therapy. I was like, yo, this shit sucks. And I do talk about you a lot in therapy. And I think the other side of that part was I went to relationship therapy 2 weeks ago. And I was like, yeah, I want to be with someone super impressive. I like to be with someone super impressive. And she's like, well, what do you think about yourself? Like, what's impressive about you? And I thought it, in a nice way. She wasn't being rude. And I was like, oh, I never think of myself as impressive. I never think of myself as successful. I've never said that about myself. And she's like, that's just kind of interesting. Like, if you want to be with someone like that, don't you think they'd want to be with someone that's the same thing at the same side? I was like, huh. And so it's made me be more reflective, like, wow, maybe I have done some impressive things. Maybe I have been successful in this stuff. And so I actually found that helpful for myself.
I think we solved it.
It's cured. Boom.
Yeah.
The other one that, like today, I was telling the friend at coffee was also giving myself more credit. And this is something that applies to everyone. I think you're just not, honestly, I think this is natural for you that a lot of people, it's not natural. I can see it in my brother too, but as we do things during the day, we never are like, hey, I'm proud of myself. And so I've tried it each day or, throughout the week, be like, hey, give myself a little bit of credit. I think everyone can copy that. But this is literally how you live. Like, you should have Neville's, like, life philosophy.
I mean, I think we're at the end over here. But speaking of the end, I really do think about this all the time. This, like, if you know your life is going to end and you know the punchline to this life is that you are going to die. I don't care what technology comes along. It lets you live till 200. After 200, you will die. And after 500, you will die. In 10,000 years, the heat and death of the universe, you will die. If you know that that is the punchline, that changes the way you view life. And you realize, like, oh, this is it right now. Not before, not after. Right now. Literally. This is what we're doing. This is fun. And this is awesome. And that's life. And I think that's the end of our podcast. Noah Kagan, thank you so much for being with us.
Love you, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, love you, man, too.